Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today we have predictions for 4 NBA games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Golden State Warriors and Orlando Magic. Alright, so the Golden State Warriors are hitting the road to face the Orlando Magic, and this one's shaping up to be pretty interesting. The Warriors have definitely turned a corner since they traded for Jimmy Butler, and they're looking like a whole different team. They've rattled off 4 straight wins, sitting at 31-27, and are hungry to climb up the Western Conference ladder. I mean, this could be a massive win for them to avoid getting stuck in the play-in, so they'll be bringing it. Steph Curry's been lighting it up as usual, but with Butler in the mix now, they've got another beast to throw at opposing defenses. Butler's been that solid second option, putting up 18 points a game, and that's exactly what Golden State needed. On the flip side, Orlando's been a bit of a mess this season. They're 29-31, and the inconsistency is real. Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner are nice pieces, but the offense has been a disaster outside of those two. They finally got a healthy squad, though, and with Jalen Suggs potentially back in the mix, they might just be able to get things rolling. This game is huge for them if they want to get back on track and try to make some noise down the stretch. When you look at the Warriors' offense, they're not exactly tearing it up like we're used to seeing. They're ranked 16th in points per game, and their shooting efficiency is far from elite. They're 25th in field goal percentage and only 14th from 3. But here's the thing, since Butler came on board, that offense has looked a lot better. They've got 8 players in double figures, and Curry's still doing his thing, averaging 23.3 points and dishing out 6.1 assists. So even though they're not the offensive juggernaut we've seen in the past, they've got weapons all over the floor now. Now, where Golden State really stands out is on defense. They've been locking teams down all season. They're 9th in points allowed and 10th in field goal percentage defense. They've got the length and the hustle on the perimeter too, with multiple guys averaging steals and Kevin Looney and Draymond Green holding it down in the paint. Looney's pulling down boards, Green's blocking shots, and now with Butler in the fold, their defense has only gotten stronger. If Orlando's going to get anything going offensively, they're going to have to work for every point. Orlando's defense has been a solid bright spot for them. They're number 1 in the league at limiting points, allowing just 105.5 per game, and they've got a really strong front court with Goga Bitadze and Wendell Carter Jr. on the glass. But their perimeter defense is where they really shine. They've got multiple guys getting steals, and their defense is definitely something the Warriors will have to navigate. The Magic's problem, though, is their offense. They're dead last in scoring, and their shooting numbers are atrocious. I know Banchero and Wagner can score, but the rest of the team just hasn't been able to consistently put the ball in the hoop. Against a defense like Golden State's, they could be in for a rough night. At the end of the day, the Warriors' offense, even with some ups and downs, has been more than enough to get the job done lately, especially with the added firepower from Butler. The Magic's defense will give them some problems, but Orlando just doesn't have the offensive firepower to keep up. The Warriors have the better overall team, and I expect them to come out on top in this one. As for the total points, both teams play a slower pace, and Orlando's defense should be able to slow things down a bit, so I'm leaning towards the under here. Given Orlando's scoring struggles and the Warriors' ability to control the tempo, I'm expecting a tight, low-scoring game with the total staying under 212.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the Denver Nuggets and Milwaukee Bucks. This upcoming game between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Denver Nuggets is one I'm definitely looking forward to. Both teams have been on fire, and it's shaping up to be a real showdown. The Nuggets are coming in hot with a 38-20 record, tied for second in the West, and they're fresh off a solid win against the Pacers. Despite a hiccup against the Lakers, they've been rolling with 9 wins in their last 10 games. Their offense has been a machine, and Nikola Jokic continues to play like an MVP. The guy is putting up numbers that are insane. 29.2 points, 12.6 boards, and 10.4 assists while shooting 57.5% from the field. That's elite stuff right there, and with players like Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon also shooting over 50%, they've got a well-rounded squad. Let's not forget Christian Braun, who's been stepping up big time, averaging 14.9 points and shooting an absurd 57.5% from the floor. This team is dangerous, and they know how to get buckets. The Nuggets aren't just good on offense, they're efficient. They're leading the league in field goal percentage, and they're right behind the top-scoring teams in points per game. With Jokic at the helm, Denver moves the ball well, and their offensive flow is something most teams struggle to stop. When you throw in Aaron Gordon's defense, this team has all the tools to lock down the best players. So, for the Bucks, handling Jokic and defending the Nuggets' high-powered offense is going to be a tough task. Now, on the Bucks side, things are looking a little more uncertain. They're sitting at 33-25, not quite where they want to be in the East, but they've got the firepower to make things interesting. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been doing his thing, averaging 31 points and 12 rebounds a game while shooting 60.9% from the field. The guy is still a freak of nature and can dominate any game. With Damian Lillard alongside him, the Bucks have a pretty dangerous duo, but their offense can get a little inconsistent at times. The trade for Kyle Kuzma didn't exactly fix everything. Losing Chris Middleton, who was a solid two-way player, has left a hole. Kuzma can score, no doubt, but his defensive game isn't quite at Middleton's level. This might hurt the Bucks against a team like Denver, where defense is just as important as offense. They need more from Kuzma, especially with Middleton's absence, if they want to keep up. The Bucks have the advantage of playing at home, where they've been solid this season, but honestly, they've been a bit up and down lately. They've lost some games they should have won, like that close one to the Rockets, and their record over the last 10 games is just 4-6. That kind of inconsistency is tough when you're going up against a team as well-balanced as the Nuggets. Denver's been playing some of the best basketball in the league, and they've been dominant on the road as well, with an 18-11 record. It's hard to bet against a team that's on a roll like this, especially when they've got Jokic leading the charge and a supporting cast that knows how to perform. In the end, I think the Nuggets have the edge here. They've been playing at an elite level, and even though the Bucks are tough at home, they haven't shown enough consistency to trust them in a game like this. Denver's depth, their offensive efficiency, and the fact that Jokic is playing at an MVP level make them the more reliable team right now. The Bucks will put up a fight, no doubt, but I see the Nuggets walking away with the win in this one. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The third prediction for today is for a game between the New Orleans Pelicans and Phoenix Suns. Alright, this game between the Phoenix Suns and the New Orleans Pelicans is definitely a head-scratcher. Both teams have so much talent, but they've been all over the place this season, and it's hard to know what to expect from either side. The Pelicans, for example, were supposed to be a rising force in the West with Zion Williamson leading the charge, but injuries and inconsistent play have totally derailed them. Zion's inability to stay on the floor has left the team scrambling to find an identity. Still, there are some bright spots. Trey Murphy's been balling out, and young guys like Karlo Matkovic have been stepping up and proving they deserve more minutes. But let's be real, The biggest issue with New Orleans right now is their defense. They've got one of the worst defensive ratings in the league, and while they've shown some signs of improvement recently, it's not nearly enough to convince anyone they're a real contender. That said, they've managed to win 3 of their last 4 games, including solid wins over the Kings and Spurs, so maybe they're starting to find some rhythm. Then there's Phoenix, who've been a real letdown this season. With stars like Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, the Suns should be one of the top teams in the West, but they just can't seem to get it together. Their defense is flat out bad. They struggle to protect the paint, they don't crash the boards, and their rotations are often a mess. Even with KD going off and putting up historic numbers, the Suns are just too inconsistent. They've dropped 4 of their last 5 games and allowed over 126 points per game during that stretch. Yikes. Despite that, they can still put up buckets, especially with Durant and Booker leading the way. Phoenix can absolutely outscore teams if they get into a rhythm, but their inability to close out games has been their downfall. When it comes to this matchup, I think the Pelicans have a real shot to keep it close. Their defense has been better recently, and they've got a solid chance to exploit the Suns' defensive flaws. New Orleans might not be the most consistent team, but if they can keep their defense sharp and slow down Phoenix's shooters, they could hang around. The Suns have the firepower to take control, but they're so shaky right now, especially on the defensive end, that it's hard to trust them. If Durant shows up and plays like his usual self, Phoenix might be able to edge this one out, but with the way they've been playing, I'm not sure I'm ready to bet on them. Ultimately, I think the Pelicans cover the spread here. They've been playing better lately, and even though their road record is pretty ugly, they've got enough pieces to make this a competitive game. Phoenix, on the other hand, is just too unpredictable. They've got the star power, but it hasn't translated into consistent wins. I wouldn't be shocked if the Pelicans make it a tight game and at least cover the spread. It's a tough call, but I'm leaning towards New Orleans keeping it close. The 4th prediction for today is for a game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and Los Angeles Lakers. The Timberwolves are heading to LA to take on the Lakers, and this game is setting up to be a real test for both teams. Minnesota has been one of the more puzzling teams this season. After making a solid run to the Western Conference Finals last year, they've kind of hit a wall at 32-27, sitting 7th in the West. They've got some serious competition right on their tail, with the Clippers and Warriors breathing down their necks. If they want to keep up with last season's success, they'll need to figure things out fast. Their offense has been lackluster at times, sitting in the middle of the pack at 20th in scoring, but they've still got Anthony Edwards balling out and keeping them afloat. Edwards has been the star of the show, putting up monster numbers, but it's been clear that he needs more help if they want to go far. The Wolves have had some decent wins, but they're a little too up and down for comfort. The Lakers, on the other hand, are riding high with LeBron and Luka taking control. At 35-21, they've got a solid grip on their playoff hopes, but they're still chasing a higher spot in the standings. If they can stay healthy, this team's got all the tools to make a serious finals run. Luka's been a game changer for the Lakers, and LeBron's still doing his thing, racking up assists and controlling the pace. However, they've had some struggles with their shooting, especially from deep, where they've been ice cold. If they can't start hitting their 3-pointers more consistently, that might be a weakness Minnesota can exploit. For the Timberwolves to have a shot in this one, their defense needs to step up big time. They've been strong defensively overall, ranking 6th in points allowed, but lately, their defensive rating has dropped off. That's going to need to change if they want to compete with this star-studded Lakers team. Losing Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle could make things tricky, but with guys like Naz Reid and Jaden McDaniels, the Wolves still have the size and athleticism to hold their own. They're also solid on the glass, so they'll need to keep controlling the boards to limit LA's second-chance opportunities. The Lakers' key to success here is going to be defense and pushing the ball in transition, but they can't afford another off night from 3. The Timberwolves' ability to lock down on shooters and limit those open looks from deep will go a long way in keeping this game close. If the Lakers don't hit their shots, the Wolves could make them pay, especially if Edwards keeps rolling the way he has been. Minnesota has already taken 2 out of 3 from LA this season, including a blowout win, so they've proven they can hang with them. I'm leaning towards the Timberwolves covering in this one. With Edwards leading the way and Minnesota's solid defense, I think they'll keep this one tighter than people expect. The Lakers are the home favorites, but they've shown some vulnerability lately, and with the Wolves locking down the paint and limiting the 3-point shooting, they can stay in the game. Even without Gobert and Randall, Minnesota's depth and Edwards' hot streak should keep them competitive. The Lakers have the stars, but they've got some holes right now that the Timberwolves could exploit. This is a game that could go either way, but I expect Minnesota to cover the spread and give LA a real challenge.